7 things on Mounjaro weight loss that I do not do after 36 weeks. Hi friends, I am Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 64 pounds and I'm trucking towards 100-pound weight loss with Mounjaro. I am so excited to talk to you about 7 things I do not do with my Mounjaro weight loss. And let's go ahead and dive into number 1. The first one is, and I know this is going to make a lot of people mad, but I've had to do what's best for my body to take back my health, and I don't really do high fats anymore. I mean, I do, but many of you guys know me from the keto diet, which is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. I do on Mounjaro what I subscribe to and what is working well for my body, and you do you. We're going to talk about that more in a minute, about you doing what's best for your own body. But for me, I really have been loving and have actually been craving, when I get quiet with like, what does my body want? Lean proteins. So I've been going after seafood, fish, turkey, chicken. I don't even really like chicken, and at times I have been craving chicken. I still do steaks, I still do beef, I still love those things, but it really makes my stomach very upset. And on Mounjaro, and if you've seen my Mounjaro weight loss side effects video and also gotten my free Mounjaro weight loss success checklist, which is in the description link below, as is all the resources I'm going to talk about today are in that description link. One of the things that I talk about is having a lot of protein because of the muscle loss that comes with Mounjaro injection. But for me, gastrointestinal, and for a lot of y'all, gastrointestinal issues can be a Mounjaro side effect. And so with having high fat, let me know in the comments if you've experienced this. I definitely want to know, as we go through the 7 list, what has been your experience, because I think the more comments we have, the more we can learn from the Countess of Shopping community. But for me, I do like high fats. Like, we had date night last Friday night. I ordered a steak. I enjoyed it. I loved it. But my stomach definitely later on, there has been some sensitivity with it. And so just being mindful of that. And also, that's on my list too, and I'm going to jump to that one, is number 2 is, what is my body craving? What is my body telling me? Because Mounjaro helps make me feel full, because it helps with the brain chemistry component of I feel full. I used to not know what that felt like. 37 weeks, I've been on for 36 weeks, so 37 weeks ago, I didn't know what that feeling felt like, of like, I'm full, period. I had pockets of it, but now I pretty much feel that on a daily basis. Like right now, I just had 2 turkey burgers. I feel really, really full. I'm really full. I had half of a bun. I had a potato roll bun. I know many of my low carb friends are going to clutch their pearls. I have incorporated some carbs back into my diet. I don't go cuckoo puff crazy with carbs because they do increase my anxiety and they do make me really puffy. So I had a half of a hamburger roll on there, but I felt good about that, and I'm really, really full now. And so that's number 2, is things that I don't do with Mounjaro is I've really tuned into listening to my body, and I've stopped not listening to my body. Before, I just would go with eating, and now it's become really mindful of, okay, what does my body feel like? What is my body telling me? My body's giving me signals all day long. It's whether or not I am in tune with them, if I am listening. And for me, because I have a very enriched schedule, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a serial entrepreneur, I got a busy schedule, probably just like you do, very much like you do, it's enriched. And so I had previously just kind of gone on autopilot of like, oh, I'm tired, or oh, like noticing these things. And I think Mounjaro has been really helpful for my body. And again, I'm not a doctor, nor do I pretend to play one on the internet. I'm not a nutritionist, nor do I pretend to play one on the internet. I happily punt to medical professionals for their expertise. This is simply my experience, strength, and hope. Number 3, compounds. I don't know if you saw, recently it just came out about a massive Eli Lilly lawsuit against compound companies, some of them, particularly one based out of Florida, California. There was like one big one with compounds, and being very mindful of those. I have no judgment if you're taking a compound or not. If you're doing Tirzepatide, if you're doing a semaglutide weight loss, or Wegovy weight loss, or Ozempic weight loss, you do you. Again, this whole thing is, I punt you back to, you know your body's best, and you and your medical professional, having a good medical professional, can work in that working relationship together of what's best for your body. But for me, I choose not to take compounds just because of a couple of red flags with them. And this lawsuit, I think, very much points that out, that just came out. We'll see how it plays out. It's in federal court now. Eli Lilly just filed with this Mounjaro lawsuit. But it was basically against compounds. you can use a base in compounds, or some compound companies are using a salt instead of the base with it. Now, again, I'm not crazy medically inclined. I don't know. I've been approached by 10 gabillion compound pharmacies to talk about compounds. And I just don't feel like I have enough experience, strength, and hope in that, because I don't take a compound. So therefore, I'm not going to tote that I'm the expert. I simply know my experience, strength, and hope with Mounjaro injection and my Mounjaro prescription. For me, I would not take a compound, but if you do, the things to find out are they independently tested? Now, could they lie about this? Certainly. But finding a reputable compound pharmacy, I've even tried to do a video on it of okay, here's what you need to look for a compound pharmacy. And I couldn't come up with a list, because there's so many ways that compound pharmacies could potentially fudge that. Are there some amazing compound pharmacies? Absolutely. You guys have shared them with me, and I'm like, yay, in our free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group. And by the way, if you're on a semaglutide weight loss, Tirzepatide weight loss, Wegovy weight loss, Ozempic weight loss, all are welcome at that table. It's a free group. I just don't allow spammers in, and people who try to sell their compounds in that group are strictly forbidden. We're not, it's for encouragement and for weight loss encouragement. But with that, some people have found really good compound pharmacies. I've also heard many of our countesses and counts in the Countess of Shopping community who've taken compounds and really not lost that much weight. They've been like, this is not what I was expecting. And I can completely understand, I get that, because on Mounjaro, I lost 12 pounds in 1 week. Now that, you can go watch that video. That is a complete outlier with losing that much weight, and can be to the point of being dangerous of losing that much weight. And I don't certainly encourage that. That was simply my experience. Again, I speak from my experience, strength, and hope. And hopefully that will help you in some capacity. Take what you want and leave the rest. But with the compounds, that for me is something I just won't do. Now, obviously Mounjaro is expensive. I mean, if you don't have a prescription with it, we have completely, because I mean, if you don't have, insurance, I didn't mean prescription. Everyone has to have a prescription for Mounjaro. What I meant was insurance covering it. Of course it's going to be crazy expensive. And so I get that. I respect that. I totally understand that. And so that's why, if you're taking a compound or thinking about taking a compound, Tirzepatide or semaglutide, to be super, super, now with this new Eli Lilly lawsuit about your compound Mounjaro, who you're having discernment who you pick for that pharmacy. And again, I know so many folks who have had wonderful compound experiences. Compounds are legal pending that the prescription is on the FDA shortage list. We have been in an unprecedented time to have things like Mounjaro, Wegovy, Ozempic be on the FDA shortage list for these multi-billion-dollar drugs. They keep going on the FDA shortage list because they are so popular. So my encouragement to you is, once they get off the FDA shortage list, that compound pharmacy should not be prescribing the semaglutide or Tirzepatide. If Mounjaro for the Tirzepatide, semaglutide for Wegovy or Ozempic, which Wegovy and Ozempic are the same thing. It's just packaged differently. It's the same thing though. One's for diabetes, Ozempic, one is for weight loss, Wegovy. So they should not, if they're not on the FDA shortage list, compound pharmacies should not be dispensing those medications anymore. The reason why there is this caveat is because of the FDA shortage. Let's talk about number 4 for things I don't do on my Mounjaro weight loss, having lost 64 pounds. Next one is Offlimit Foods. Number 4 is Offlimit Foods. I don't like going through and being like, I can't have that. The first day that I had I allowed myself permission to have a bag of Skittles and not feel guilt, shame, condemnation. I wanted to savor them. I wanted to be fully present. I wanted to enjoy it as a treat, not as an everyday thing, but as a treat. And I hate that on every video almost I cry, but I could cry thinking about it because it was such a miracle for me. I'm like, I had the Skittles bag and I ate a third of it. And then I was like, I'm full. I'm good. That felt amazing. I don't need to eat the rest. If I continue to eat the rest, A, I'm going to make myself sick. And B, my body's telling me it's good. And it was such a treat. And it was the first, I felt like I was a little kid again. Remember when you got Easter candy or Christmas candy or birthday candy or whatever for celebrations? You're like, oh my gosh! That is what that felt like for me. It was pure joy of enjoying something and being like, okay, I'm good. I didn't go binge eat 5 more bags of the Skittles. I didn't run out the next day and eat 10 more bags of them. I had that craving. I ate it. I was full and it was done. And that's the cool part about Mounjaro for me, is it's healing this food relationship that has been so is cantankerous the right word? Horrible. Like just very unhealthy relationship with food. And so healing it one victory at a time, like with that bag of Skittles, like, oh my gosh. And then that gives more trust layers to my body and to myself of like, oh, I can have a treat and be done with it and feel good about it. And I'm like, oh, that's probably what air quote normal people feel like, although there is no such thing as normal. That's a dishwasher setting. So eating, I don't really have things that are off limits now. I mean, even going back to the high fat things, like how I said, I wanted a steak, I wanted a ribeye. I ate it. It was fatty. It was good. I had a very small piece of it. I boxed up the rest. And that's what I usually do when I go out to dinner now is I box up the rest of my food. We are fostering Hopesy Bear, not Hopesy Bear, that was our old dog. That was our old Great Pyrenees. We're fostering another Great Pyrenees. So she may come in. Her name is Sunshine. So if you see, she looks like a panda bear. So if Panda Bear comes in, that's Sunshine. We're fostering her. If you're in Virginia, she is available for adoption. Okay, next. Number 5, things that I don't do on the Mounjaro weight loss. By the way, if you are looking for my Mounjaro shopping list, I will link that down below, as is my 125 protein ideas, my blog post on that. That's also in the description link below if you're like, I know I'm supposed to eat a lot of protein for muscle mass loss or losing muscle. I've linked that down below with my blog post on that. So number 5 is I stay on top. Things that I don't do with Mounjaro weight loss after losing 64 pounds is I don't not know the date of when I'm going to refill my prescription. I know the date. It's in my Google Calendar. I'm like on that refill date because with the Mounjaro shortage, I don't want to get behind. And for me, I'm allowed to, and you need to check for your situation with your insurance or your pharmacy or wherever, if you're on the coupon or whatever. I have to wait a certain number of days before I can refill my prescription. But I know that date. I've marked it on my calendar. When I fill it, then I put the next date for the refill that I can call in, and I'll usually call a day or two ahead of time and be like, hey, do you have Mounjaro? Right now I'm on Mounjaro 12.5 milligrams. Do you have 12.5 milligrams in stock? And calling 2 days in advance, it'll give me some time in case they get the shipment the next day. That has been really helpful for me. Sometimes I call more in advance on that to be like, how's it looking? Are we having, that Mounjaro 10 milligrams that have been crazy? No, it was 12.5 milligrams. Have been crazy to be able to get a hold of. And so the fact that I can get a hold of Mounjaro 12.5 milligrams, I am on that refill date. So no longer do I like fly by the seat of my pants about, I'll just have the auto refill. I can't do that. For me, that's not where I live and how I don't have mail order yet. I hope to in the future, but because I'm titrating up and the shortage, it just makes it easier for me to go to a physical pharmacy right now to get that. Okay, number 6. Buying expensive clothes I no longer do. Like, this is old. All my clothes that are like expensive are old. I will not buy. And even pants. I just did a pant haul. I will link it down below. If you guys want to see that video, tell me in the comments, or like an updated clothing haul, because I just bought a bunch of clothes. I have been buying clothes that are on sale or on clearance, or old clothes that I had in the closet. This is the other crazy part. I had saved all these old clothes because many of you guys are OGs from when I lost 80 plus pounds on the keto diet. I had these lower sizes and then I gained it all back and then some during the pandemic. I still have some of those smaller sizes. They're like skinny jeans, and apparently skinny jeans aren't cool anymore. So I had to get rid of them anyways. So they're not on trend anyways. So I am not wearing them to begin with. So I'm not buying expensive clothes. And then the clothes that I did get from Old Navy, Athleta. Is it Athleta? Is that how you say it? It's like in the Old Navy tier. Were majorly inexpensive. Like, holy gazoli's, massive deal savings. I'll link that down below. I said 7, but I think I have 8. I added an extra one in there. Number 8 is physically things holding me back. I no longer allow that for myself. Obviously, I'm using common sense and judgment, and obviously I'm checking in with my body of like, can my body do this? I can't run hardcore right now because of my ankle. I had ankle surgery last summer. Not this past summer, but the summer before, like a year, like 14 months ago. This past summer, went to San Francisco. We're in Virginia. Flew across the country with my son, my 8-year-old, just the two of us. I asked him where he wanted to go in the country. He could fly anywhere and go anywhere he wanted for summer vacation, just the two of us for a couple of days. Where would he want to go? And he said, Alcatraz. So we flew. It was just me. My husband did not come. The count stayed at home and manned the fort. And we flew together there. I physically did all of that. Walked up Alcatraz, big old hill. We went on scooter rides through San Francisco, which is crazy hilly. Walked through the crazy hilly. Like, it was just awesome. I physically could do it. Then we came home, and then we went up to Maine for another trip, just him and I, to visit family. And I did that. My son went surfing. I went to the beach. Like, it was just awesome. Like, being able to be physical. So not allowing these old tapes of what was to be my reality. And on Countess of Shopping Instagram, if you don't follow me over there, make sure you do. A viewer had mentioned, and one of our awesome countesses was like, hey, and if that's you, by the way, thank you, and I love you to pieces, had mentioned and had said, is this still recording? Okay, good. I was like, is it still recording? I'm doing a different camera here in my, I thought Panda Bear was going to come up. I thought Sunshine was going to come up, but she's not. Had commented about changing thoughts and mindset and how powerful and important that is with weight loss, and believing that I can do this. And because now I have evidence and proof that I can do this, that it continues to, like, confidence begets confidence, right? You do esteemable things, you gain more self-esteem. I do more physical things, I gain more physical confidence. Like, just the act of doing it, even though I'm somewhat afraid or there's some doubt, and still doing it, not in an unsafe way, but like going on that trip. There's no way I ever would have done that for a long time, just flying across the country without my husband, all by myself, with my son, doing physical stuff, because I knew I trusted my body. Was I scared? Yeah, I was. We went fishing one day. We woke up at 4:00 in the morning and went out for like 6 or 7 hours of fishing. It was amazing. And I got to go fishing with him. Like, who dis? It was the coolest experience. And my 8-year-old son will remember that forever. I think he's remembered a lot of where I can't do stuff and where I physically, I'll go get dad to go do that, because dad's physically my husband's very in shape. Like, he's amazing. And mom's like the one who makes the sandwiches for school. You know what I mean? Like, and now I'm breaking through some of these old molds. It's really cool. It's been really, really cool. Or my son's been playing soccer. And so I used to play soccer. I played travel soccer. I made varsity soccer when I was in 9th grade. In high school, like, I was good. I was a good athlete. Made varsity basketball when I was a sophomore. And it's like so sad that would, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want my son, like, that's part of my motivation, is obviously myself, but for my son and for my husband to be around for a while. And that is really important to me. And that's why with Mounjaro side effects and Mounjaro shortages and Mounjaro finances, I still thank God every single day that this has been my journey. And I had talked earlier on a previous video about, like, the dark side of Mounjaro, and in it saying how food chatter had come back. And now that's basically, now that I've titrated up to 12.5 milligrams on Mounjaro, that food chatter is basically gone. I'm back to not having food chatter or food noise or obsessive thoughts about food. Some people are like, what's food noise? I'm like, when you think about food all the time, or like, it is overwhelming thoughts about food a lot. Now that that's gone, it's a miracle, like, truly. And I had shared in that other video, The Dark Side of Mounjaro, which, go watch it if you haven't seen it, talking about like how afraid I was about when I hit Mounjaro 15 milligrams, what's going to happen then when I can't continue to titrate up? What will happen? And I need to not live in that state of fear, and I'm not going to, quite frankly. That's one of the things I'm not going to do, and that's my bonus one, is not living in a place of fear about that. Because January 1st, Mounjaro got released for FDA approval. January 4th, I got the prescription. Like, if that wasn't a God thing, how I found out about it is my husband, we were retracing this the other day. My husband sent me a blog post, and I need to DM this blogger. It's some nerdly blogger my husband follows, which I love. And he sent it to me about this medication. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go talk to my doctor. And gosh, what a gift. What a gift. What a gift. Because I had tried previously to get weight loss medication from another doctor who completely sloughed me off, and I wouldn't go back to them because they made me feel like a piece of garbage. And I got a new doctor and she had just been trained on GLP-1s, like literally about Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro, and all the information that's coming out about GLP-1s and how amazing they are, and how many more are coming down the pike over the upcoming years here with the FDA approval. So those are what my do not do's. Again, you do you. You do what's best for your body. I think that's so important, of getting rid of diet culture, of these like do lists and don't lists. And I just don't live by that anymore. Or not just because that's a diminishing word. I try not to live by that anymore, and I listen to what my body, for the most part, I'm still working on that. I'm still in progress with that, of what my body tells me, and listening to that more than these like do and don't lists, and you can't have that, and you can't have that. Like, no, I'm gonna feel my body. I'm going to make sure I move my body. I'm going to make sure I drink my water. I'm going to make sure I drink my electrolytes, like all of those. I'm going to have my protein. I'm going to have all those things. But my health has progressively gotten so much better with this. So if you made it this far in the video, action items. Here at Countess of Shopping, we talk about we're solution oriented and we're action oriented. We do talk about Mounjaro, but we also are action focused. So what are you going to do today to help you move closer to your goals? I want to know in the comments. I would love to know. Tell me. And then number two, I also want to make sure, if you like this video, click subscribe. I see so many of y'all are not subscribed to the Countess of Shopping channel, and you don't click like on the video. Please do those two things. It means the world, first and foremost. And secondly, it helps with the YouTube algorithm, so more people can see this video. And if you do like this content, share it with people who you think would be helpful for as well. The next one is emojis. We do like Marvel Easter eggs here. If you've made it this far in the video, I want you to put in the comments a heart, and that will be my signal. It helps me to get to know you better. The more I see your name and your user handle, the more I get to know you. And I want to know who you are. You guys know me, but I truly am invested in our Countess of Shopping community. And join our free group if you haven't. If you are on hold for that group, like you haven't gotten in or you've been declined, it's probably because you didn't fill out your email or there's something flagging your account. So make sure you can email me directly, like, hey, I'm not a robot. And also make sure you just fill out all those questions, because that will be automatic. If people don't, that's why they usually don't get into the free group. There's thousands and thousands of us, and it's really an encouraging space. And if you want more information, go check out my Mounjaro weight loss playlist. You can see back from when I started on this, literally the first week on Mounjaro, I made a video of how I lost 12 pounds on Mounjaro, and now I've got a ton of videos through my journey. You can see on 12.5 milligrams of Mounjaro, and Mounjaro 5 milligrams, and Mounjaro, like titrating up with Mounjaro 7.5 milligrams, all the way up now to Mounjaro 12.5 milligrams. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings, because life is delicious. I'll see you next time, beautiful friends. Bye, guys.